And here we are. We are now in the Caelid Wilds on the Radon Beach, one of the most fearsome areas in all of Elden Ring. Very fascinating. Sergeant Jaeger notices a little something moving over the side of this cliff face, so he goes to investigate, and what does he come across? He comes across 3 green men. Very interesting. These are the 3 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The first one died in a car crash. Very sad. Okay, so what's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing a little bit of talking about this dexterity character I put together at meta level. So it is 125 meta level, and I wanted to make a build that was cutting as little endurance out of, or excuse me, as much endurance out of the equation as possible, and have 109 poise and have as much damage pumped into the small selection of weapons that I did decide to use. So we are building the entire thing around shamshir. We have, before the millisense prosthesis, we have 70 dexterity, 75 afterwards. Our physic has the bubble tier and the lightning up one, and then the main shamshir we're going to be using has lightning slash, but we also have 3 others that are able to have a couple other ashes of war on them. We have one that is Stormblade, because having a very quick access projectile on a weapon is very nice. We have one that has Sword Stance having hyper armor and good for momentum, high damage, very nice Ash of War, though I ended up not using it quite as much as just Lightning Slash. Not that there's anything wrong with Sword Stance, it's just I ended up not using it a whole lot this evening of recording. And then we have one that has parry, because like I said in a previous video, I think that parry on a curved sword or thrusting sword is actually extremely good. And the reason is that because of how 1.10 balanced hyper armor and poise in general, there is a lot of incentive to R1 out of hit stun. And R1 out of hit stun are some of the easiest setup parries you can possibly get. So parry on the shamshir is to hide the parry, and then be able to say, I'm fighting a dismounter or something like that, be able to R1 them or jumping R2 them, something on those lines, put them in hit stun, and then when they try to mash out of hit stun, be able to get that parry on them. Now, I don't think I landed it in this footage because I was just playing, I wasn't thinking about parrying, and that for me is at least part of why I don't get too many parries, because I have to be like actively thinking about it. And I just was not thinking about it today. But the thing is that I'm, even though that this is a much more close to optimized build than what I normally use, because like I'm actually using good armor for a change, I am like learning about like just how it feels to have such high damage on a weapon that like usually does like 100 damage less per swing for me. Like, look, like, I mean, I don't know why this guy chose to try and chug like 90 times, but like, that was some pretty good damage, and that was without the lightning strike buff, that was without it being in the rain. When you have those things going for you, its damage is like well over 400, like it's like closer to 500 per swing, and then it just goes up astronomically if they have low defenses. It's really good. Yeah, but I plan on making probably a couple videos with this alteration of my dexterity build. Normally what I'm using has enough faith for the tree sentinel spears running like 50 dexterity and then more endurance. But for today's video, I wanted to try rocking like as little of the other stats as need be, and running as much dexterity as possible. Now, this build would probably be quite a bit better if I went to 19 strength. It's at base, it's at 14. Or at least, see, like, R1 out of hit stun monkey meta, and they're standing in water. That guy got completely melted. Like, I'm doing over 500 damage per R1 swing. That is literally nuts. Like, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, it's really so much easier Invasions are so much easier when you do this level of damage. I don't normally do this level of damage. This is kind of nuts. I don't know what to say. Like dexterity, sacred, like these infusions can just do a bazillion damage. It is crazy what happens when you stack as many buffs as possible. So I pull out one of my other weapons, the thrusting sword here. This guy is a light roller, and thrusting sword does better than curved sword generally against light roll. And we are also able to monkey mash through his monkey mashing, and we win that. GG, sir. Yeah, and also as it would turn out, running something higher than 30 poise is really helpful. I wish that the knight armor I normally wore had high poise. I wish it did, because normally I'm not running anything higher than 50 poise. I think my knight armor has like 44 or something like that, and wow, like having enough poise to tank a second R1 really is a game changer. So I went with like the best looking fashion that I possibly could and reach that 109 to be able to tank offhand thrusting sword. But yeah, that also means that there's a ton of second hit R1s that you can tank as well. Apparently including greatsword R1s as well, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, this guy's, I'm finally noticing, is literally just monkey mashing, and so when I finally monkey mash myself, rather than trying to roll catch him, he just dies instantly. So, GG, sir. But, yeah, man, like, I think that this cape, this Banished Knight armor, is probably the best looking heavy armor. Like, the scaled armor looks really good, too. And then the Tree Sentinel armor looks okay. But, oh, yeah. I got tricked. Look at this. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? A normal Godric soldier just doing normal Godric soldier things. Isn't that nice? Had to speed it up here. It's taking forever, but like, oh, there's a second one. Oh, ain't that nice? Oh, there's a third with 2 bricks and one with 2 pikes. This is very, very bad. I think that this might be unbeatable. Oh, very competitive damage right there. So I start swinging at him, but yeah, GG's guys, GG's. I knew that Godric soldiers were some of the hardest enemies in the game, but I did not know that they were packing like that. What? That is not what I meant. Okay, that might have been what I meant. Never mind. But yeah, bro, like the main problems with this build is probably just the 14 strength, because like you need 16 for Hand of Melania. Hand of Melania just wins you invasion sometimes. Stormhawk Axe just wins you invasion sometimes, and that takes 19. And it's not always the most realistic thing swapping to the strength talisman. So I definitely could have taken that from somewhere and put it into it, but like I didn't want to go down to like 64 dexterity. I wanted to keep it high. Get fingered, dude. GG's. These hands being an absolute menace to society. Yeah, we were getting a lot of the shunning grounds this play session, and like the shunning grounds are cool until you get spawned in an area that you literally just don't have a single clue where they are. Look, that's not an acceptable amount of HP. Like it just ain't. We got the endure, and look there. This is a monkey game for monkey people. Both of them decided to try an R1 out of hit stun 4 times. 4 times they tried to R1 out of hit stun. It ain't always the play, dude. It ain't always the play. You didn't have the poise, and you got melted. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, hold up. That is also not an acceptable amount of HP. Guys, level up Vigor. Holy shit. Like, this is not that difficult. Your attacking stats are not as important as having 60 Vigor. So, anyway, Yeah, that's not a good indicator of how much damage this does. It's more an indicator of how, like, who spread the misinformation of needing only a little bit of vigor? Who did that? Because whoever they are, they have done irreparable damage to the Elden Ring community, if you even want to call it that. Like, the amount of PvEers that you'll see that have that amount of HP at meta level, and then they're fat rolling while wearing armor that weighs like 9 units in total. It's like, do you have 99 of your attacking stat? What in the fuck is wrong with your build that you are taking that much damage and you have no defensive capabilities either? Like, how do you do that? It's honestly impressive. It's like, are they just like putting, say, 80 into their intelligence as a mage, and then putting the rest of it just into fucking strength for the sake of it? Because you really do need 60 strength to hold any of the staves in this game. They're very heavy. Like, I just don't get it. Worst roll of all time. Shitty roll. Horrible roll. But roll catch-a-reno him right here. And guess what? This host is about to pull a beta male move. So he goes up the ladder. Not a ladder, dumbass, the elevator, but watch what he does. Watch the button. He's standing on the elevator button at the top. Yeah, bro. Like, why is this even allowed in the game still, dude? Like, it's been in, like, every single Souls game. Like, they love this whole button system. Standing on a button. And then making it to where, like, you literally just can't go up the elevator if someone is standing still. Oh, would you look at that? He went back down. How kind of him. Yo, what an epic host. This is how you play Eldenring the Third. That, oh, wait, hold up. Is he coming back up? Huh. It's almost like I have a little surprise for him.
Sniping's a good job, mate. Showers will work. Out of doors, I can guarantee you'll never get horny.
Say what? Hold up, what? What was that? Yo, GG's, dude. GG's. That was such a fun invasion. I hope we have that type of invasion again. So we are now in a cave. Very scary. I think I'm looking at 3 people as well. Even more scary. Ooh, and he has the Blood Flame Blade, Star Shower, very honest, very nice. I'm taking a shit ton of damage, so we need to dip. But, yeah, I mean, we are in a bad situation. When you are in a cave, you have nobody to help you generally, because who's trying to invade a cave? Usually when someone's running through one, they are not Taunter's Tongued. And if they are, usually they're in the Rykard cave, so you're dead before you get teammates. So, I don't know what to tell you. So, here we're going to just use the can opener. So, yeah, and do 200 damage per swing through a shield. That's epic. Yeah, so, a huge part of the idea behind this setup, you might be wondering why the shamshir is in the left hand. I'm going to make a whole video dedicated to putting a main hand weapon in your offhand and two-handing it. See how many times I can say hand in a video. Essentially, what this allows us to do is it allows us to buff with the shamshir, or just have any Ash of War on the shamshir, but also have Endure very close by as well. And if I'm using the one that has Lightning Slash on it, the one that buffs, if I were to, say, have the Raptor's Talons in my left hand, I'd have to put my Shamshir on my hip to be able to use Endure, meaning that I would not be able to keep that buff. I'd have to rebuff again, which is not very realistic a lot of the time, because Lightning Slash doesn't have any hyper armor, and it's extremely slow. People are going to hit you out of it a lot. But the thing is as well, is that if I were to swap to Endure, like quickly from my menu, yeah, I'm going to lose the buff as well, but if it's in my left hand, I get the best of both worlds. I'm able to use the Endure, or whatever Ash of War it might be, for our case it's Endure, and keep that buff, which is extremely nice. Yes, this is directly taken from what G9 started doing a couple months ago, but it was a really good idea. And if you're not trying this, like, especially if you're using a weapon that has a buff on it, You should try it. Like, it's a very interesting idea. Double grafted blade gamer right there. Insanely based. GG, sir. Yeah, like having something in your offhand is super nice. And so I will be making a video about putting your main hand in your offhand. I'm parrying the world right there because I'm trying to lightning slash and I'm just jigging on him over and over. Yeah, so like that was almost 1,000 damage with 2 running R1s. That is crazy. That is
Not an acceptable amount of HP. You need to pump those numbers, bro.
this right here was the worst parry attempts of all time. Okay, so apparently the normal timing's not correct. Now we are going to try doing it, what, early? Or are we going to try doing it late now? Let's see. Okay, so that timing didn't work either. Why? I've parried this a bazillion times. That is the timing. Why is it not working? And so I tried doing it like super early. Nope. That is not the timing either, apparently. But what is that range? Okay, honest CGS range. So we clearly have a lot of lat. How was that early one? And then I somehow get that backstab. Yeah, bro. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like apparently it just was not meant to be. I've parried that attack many times, and yeah, bro. I don't know what to say. So they're fighting this boss. I have the rings on me as well, and let's just see what epic gamering happens. Oh,
The boss does damage to the invader.
yo, GG's Moog. Moog out here mogging all of us. Very, very nice of him. The mewing master, if you will. The guy who literally mews on absolutely everybody. We got a lot of Limgrave stuff today, didn't we? I don't know, like, there's so many people that play at, like, meta level and above that are in Limgrave. I get it, it's a nice area, but, like, the Hallig Tree exists. Go play at the Hallig Tree. It has tougher enemies, and it has verticality and stuff like that. I don't know. People can obviously play wherever they want, but, like, I would... If my dexterity character had the Hallig Tree unlocked right now, that's where I would host. Get roll caught by a bomb, very nice. Also, the reason that we're using bombs is not just because, you know, they're nice. Like, most people will use sleep pots and frost pots, which is understandable. They are they apply a status that most builds do not get access to, so it makes sense. But the reason we're running damage ones is because since I have literally made it to where my equipment load is so... There's such a thin line between what I can and cannot use that these... rather than using, say, a great bow is quite nice. So let's watch this. I was running through the game. 2 people from chat, very nice. And then Mook is here. Once again, this is on Journey 9. Let's watch what happens to Sergeant Yegor. Let's see what happens. So we've got some angry skeletons. We've got a Faith Int enjoyer, and we've got a Mook in the world. Let's see what happens. Watch this.
Oh. Yeah, bro. Yeah, this is such a good game. I'm so happy about Elden Ring. I'll see you guys with the DLC. I'll upload a video Friday.